and we are transmitting. Wait. Giving it just a minute to see if get a few more folks in, or get anyone in. We'll see him. And hello, Dingo. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Alright. Alright, we'll go ahead and get started. Folks, hi, I'm Dante. If you haven't been with one of my streams before, I have been running the tabletop incarnation of Werewolf the Apocalypse for more than 20 years now. We do have a regular streaming game that is supposed to be coming back here at some point, I swear to God. But, the Werewolf the Apocalypse video game finally escaped after 2 canceled games, one on the Sega Saturn that a few years ago a few playable sages managed to leak out, and Werewolf the Apocalypse Heart of Gaia that was going to be on the PC and has just dire cutscenes that have made it onto YouTube. You can search for those. I advise a shot of whiskey when you do. One of these games finally made it out into the wild, and unlike Bloodlines 2, actually got released. So we're going to be streaming first couple hours of this game. Just get out there. I'm a big lore nerd. Like I said, I've been running the World of Darkness games for more than 20 years now. And I have another lore nerd with me. Care to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I go by Wendi, sometimes Nines. I've been playing World of Darkness games many years as a player, as a storyteller. I am a bit of a lore nerd. I love lore. I will debate you on World of Darkness lore, and it's just a hobby for me. I have a game. I stream a game. If you, I will see if I can get the YouTube series up. If Dante will let me share that episode. You player Chronicle game recently that was fun to do, and I'm on a little hiatus.
Oh yeah, please share your stuff.
Hopefully my connection works. Yeah, let me get a link for you guys.
Yeah, but no, it's like I said, this has been years in coming. Werewolf fans have been a little salty for a long time now about everyone knows and loves Vampire. Werewolf gets no attention, and then fucking Hunter got the attention before us. So we finally we finally got the furry game. And I'll say there are already points
Don't
up.
sleep on Heart of the Adventure, but it's fun.
Yeah, true. Heart of the Forest is fantastic. And these guys are already points up on Blizzard just for the fact that our werewolves have tails. I've got a friend who, to this day, that is his big beef with Worgen in World of Warcraft, is that they don't have tails. Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, you ready?
Let's do it.
Alright, new game. And we'll do normal difficulty because I don't hate myself. Now, just a disclaimer for the chat. I have played a couple hours of this on the PS4 version, mainly so I could learn the controls and not look like a moron live. So, just heads up, this isn't a complete blind play for me, at least not for the first 2 hours or so. Alright, we are going to Tarker's Mill vicinity. The pack of Tarker's Mill is set on driving the Endron Corporation out of their territory. After several weeks of preparation, they finally have a plan. Just so Endron was a thing in the World of Darkness before anyone outside of the world of finance knew what the hell Enron was. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they just got lucky with that, or if they went digging through the Wall Street Journal to find something that sounded sinister that they could throw an extra letter into.
I bet you it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I know Justin Achille wrote a lot of the Book of the Worm stuff, and he's fond of swiping at anyone he can get a hold of.
I follow Justin on Twitter. He swipes.
Oh yeah.
The Wild. The Weaver. And the Worm. Three
There is one
primal
thing
forces
coming up
from
that's
which
not
the
entirely
world
true.
Gaia springs. The Wild
About how
is
large creatures
creation,
of the wild.
formless
That's not
and
entirely true.
abundant.
Yeah.
The Weaver shapes, making order out of chaos. The Worm, whose
I love the
purpose
little
was to destroy the
thing here.
old, to make room for the new, went mad. Now, a force of corruption, feeding on greed, malice, and hate. It ravages Gaia.
Also, I really like the
Through its
visuals they've
unwitting
kind of chosen for this.
accomplices, mankind.
And it's
The
not a
balance
bad,
between
quick, just
those
101
three
for Gary
forces
cosmology.
is long gone now. Insidiously, the worm gains more
Visuals are
and
fun.
more
Legit fun.
ground every day, vitalized by the
it's-
damage humans
And you can have a couple
wrought
theories of why
to
the worm went
earth.
crazy as it did.
We, the werewolves,
Yeah, it's,
remain,
and
born
why-
of man,
Oh.
beast, and spirit. We are the vindication of Gaia and the wild.
Yeah, the worm. I think most of the tribes interpret it as the Weaver went nuts first and bound up the worm, and then the worm went crazy.
Mm-hmm. Depends on who you ask, but that is correct.
All right. They should
Back to the theory. The Gyre cannot get their cosmology
The best way to get Indran out of
firmly
the region is to
under
attack their
control.
bottom
I
line.
might reset my router if
We
it
have a
continues
plan
to
to
be
convince them there's no profit to be had here. Ludmilla,
yeah.
if you please.
I've
That's it.
recently gained access to the system that controls all the on-site oil pumps.
And yeah,
That's
folks,
my
I know
target.
it looks like a PS3
tamper
game.
with the
This was
pumps
never
And
intended
send
to be
dummy
a
data
big
to the system to make
AAA
them think their oil field has
experience.
run dry.
Will that really be enough?
Mid-tier games are
According
games
to the
too.
internal files I got my hands on, they treat unprofitable sites like gangrenous limbs. They'll give this one the chop right
I
away.
don't mean there are games like Stardew that play amazing. As long as it plays fun, I'm okay with lower quality games.
Yeah. This plan seems a little
I don't
too
know.
easy.
Even if we do manage to push them out, they'll only set up somewhere else. We need to hurt
I
them,
hate it
bring them
because
down, not chase them away. We've already talked
In
about
Werewolf
this.
can folk by
Too
themselves
close
do
to the
anything
can.
is
If we stage an
usually
attack, they'll look for the
not
ones who did it. I don't want Indran's eyes on our home.
something that
Our best option is to work
Well,
in
it
the
depends on
shadows.
the tribe. I know the
But if
Classwalker
something
has
goes
the
wrong, my wife
Classwalkers
ends
can
up
have
on
their
her
own
own in enemy
private
territory.
military company.
I don't like it.
I'm going to be fine,
correct.
Carl.
Yep.
We've been
Oh, yeah.
preparing
I
this
think
for
the Get
weeks.
have one too.
We've calculated the risks.
The
And
Glasswalker.
if there's any sign of trouble, you and I
Get
go
do.
in and retrieve her.
I
I'd
actually
rather
had
we stay covert. Ludmilla will have the
believe it
easiest
or not,
time
I was
on her
in
own.
that book
heading out.
earlier.
I wanna be
actually
done
think
before
I still even have
daybreak.
it up,
Take care of Adana while I'm away.
because I was
She's
reading
going a
up
little crazy all cooped up in here.
there's a Fianna band, and I thought they made reference to one of the Fianna camps. So I had the Kinfolk book up. Yeah, secret societies.
And
Yeah, the Judges of Gaia, the Usifians. Yeah.
Ludmilla here is just she's worried about
Don't
her
worry,
kid.
I'll talk to her. You just focus on your mission.
Call. I've got this. I love you.
And for Cahal,
See
I'm
you soon.
trying to figure out what the hell that accent is. It sounds like there's just a little tiny bit of Boston in there, but I can't tell for sure. But no, as we get into the lore stuff,
Maybe.
As we get into the lore stuff, Cahal's wife is what we call kinfolk, someone who was born with the potential to maybe be a werewolf, but it didn't quite pan out. They still, the ones that are in the know, help out with the ongoing war to try and have the world not end horribly. And the Geru do not.
So you jumped right into it.
Yeah, the Geru do not have a great track record of how they treat their kin.
No. I don't.
Let's check out our.
It's getting better.
For a certain value of better, but okay. And let's check out our environment here.
We've been stuck in this cave for weeks
It's not
studying
Sam?
Endron's movements. At least now we finally got a plan. I hope we're done here soon.
Alright, I am going to reset my router real quick, and Discord will let me join right back in.
Alright, cool. Alright.
Because static.
Wen will be back with us in a minute, so y'all will just have to deal with me for a moment. As we explore our environment, I'll be throwing in just little notes as I can here and there.
Endron. One of the most destructive companies North America has to offer. Known for their violence and endless greed.
So they're just
If
capitalism.
we left them to their own devices, they'd ravage this place till there was nothing left but dust.
Yeah. Werewolf has, and has for basically ever, has a pretty strong anti-capitalist undertone. Just for your primary antagonist, underneath the worm is a holding corporation called Pentex that runs companies like Endron, their oil company. They run a alcohol company called King Brewery. They run a tabletop RPG company, Black Dog Games Factory, which might be the single best chapter that anyone at White Wolf ever wrote. Alright, what do you got?
I don't like thinking that Ludmilla's on her own, Rodko.
I understand. She's my sister, remember?
Yeah, you should, dude, you should be sending me in with her.
She's Adana's mother. I should be out there with her.
I gave it a lot of thought. Her chances of success are better if she's alone. It's as simple as that. If things don't go as planned, you can tear through as much Endron scum as you like to get her out. But for now, we stay put. Go. Rest while we wait.
Oh, I assure you, I'll be ripping through as many of these assholes as I can. Big Puppy Stewart, kinfolk, not kind of, sort of. The Geru tend to use their kin, both, it sounds horrible, but they are breeding stock, is a Geru and kin mating give you the best odds of actually popping out another Geru. And yeah, they kind of deal with the stuff out in the world that the Geru can't deal with directly, because supernatural anger, you really can't be, say, working a 9-to-5 job generally. This, again, does not lend itself to the healthiest of relationships.
Not looking forward to packing all this up tomorrow morning.
Okay, as someone who just moved house from DC to Florida, I feel that statement in my soul.
Got everything squared away?
Not a lot to square away. All I'm doing is pressing a button once Ludmilla gets me hooked up. Still got a ways to go before I can do much more than that. If I tried to breach their network, they'd be on us in a second.
Yo, you already
Says
done
the
good
woman
work.
who got her hands on their files. We'd never have been able to take the fight to Endron like this without you.
That's sweet, Cahal, but I just wish I could do more. But how are you doing? Talk to your daughter yet?
No, not yet. I'm just heading her way.
As we get into it, just a quick rundown. Our main character here, Cahal, he is of the Fianna tribe. They descend primarily from the British Isles. They're stereotyped as drunks and bards. Yeah, some of them lean into the plastic patty thing because they find it amusing, but yeah, there's some there's some uncomfortable stuff there too. It's not quite Star Trek Next Generation's up the long ladder, but that first edition tribe book is dire.
Yeah, this edition makes it a little better.
What do you think, old friend? Yeah, that makes two of us. Not too keen on this plan.
Yeah, when you're in human form, you can still speak wolf.
Yeah.
For our other tribes that are represented here, the lady that we just spoke to, Ava, she is a glass walker. They don't really seem to have a particular here's a real human culture that we've grafted ourselves over. They're city wolves. They glass and steel and tech. Maybe a little too much. Depends on who you ask.
Cyberwolves, cyberdogs.
Yeah, that ended badly for everyone. And our pack leader here is a Silver Fang.
Glasswalkers have... Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
No, Glasswalkers I know had some connection to Eastern and Southern Europe. Israel was something that put up, but they've gone with the cities.
Yeah, they used to call themselves the Warders of Men. And our pack leader here is a Silver Fang. They are the kings of the Garu Nation, or at least they once were. Now, these days, the tribe is not in the best shape. They like to breed with royalty a lot, and well, we know what European royal bloodlines look like. There's some inbreeding there. More than anyone likes to talk about.
Yeah. At least they made the deformity optional.
Yeah. Right. Big Puppy Stewart's got a question. What do dogs sound like to Garu?
That's a good question. I guess they would just sound like animals. The wolves have sort of a communication, but they wouldn't be able to really talk.
Yeah. I figured
very specifically. There is a bone gnawer ritual.
Yeah, the barking chain. Just delightful.
Yeah, that.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm bored out of my mind. There's nothing to do here, and it's wet and miserable.
Alright, well, kid, you're here to learn.
We're not on vacation, 80. We're here for Gaia, for the cairn, and you're here to learn how we do things.
I know, but couldn't I have learned how we do things back at Tarker's Mill? It's not like you've got me helping out with the mission or anything.
Try connecting with the spirits. Feel their presence around you. The pain Endron's causing them. That connection makes you a Garu.
I'm trying. Believe me, but I just can't.
Don't worry. It's always harder before your first change. And if the change never comes, if you're human, like your mother, that's fine. She may not feel the spirits, but she's the finest infiltrator we have.
Why didn't you go with Mom anyway? She's all alone out there. If something happens to her...
I love this conversation and I hate it.
But Rodko wants us to keep a low
if nothing
profile.
else, Kahale is a better
no one better at
is
that
in
point,
this
Mom.
moment a better parent than a lot of the Garu Nation.
Hey, that's your uncle you're talking about. And the leader of our pack.
Yep, it's
you know,
difficult
it's his job
because
to make those decisions.
she very much...
Everything will be all
like,
right.
They
Don't
talk
worry. Try to focus on the spirits.
to her because as an adult, as a human being, as a person, but at the same time, he's assuming she will become a Garu, but also has to assume that she won't because it's not 100% certain because they retcon the right to always know. It's weird.
Yeah, well, at least he's giving her, saying, and if it doesn't work out, hey, that's cool too. You're still important. You're still valid. Because, well, if you don't do that, you end up with Sam Hate.
Yep.
you end up with a violent psychotic.
Mm-hmm. Fuck Sam. It's I'm happy that they at least did that. I'm happy that they said that it's optional and not 100% no, because that causes a lot of structural and social problems playing the game. At the same time, it's still a little weird to have that dynamic shown. I've never actually seen it in media before.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is the game does have a Bloodlines, when it came out, it brought a lot of people into the World of Darkness fandom through Vampire the Masquerade. We're all kind of hoping this does the same for Werewolf, though this very much just dumps you right into the deep end. It doesn't explain much in terms of lore.
Mm-hmm.
So for new players, this is a tough buy-in.
A helicopter just touched down on the site's landing pad.
Yep. It's hard, and I know this
is shaking things up
like the back of my hand, and I found it difficult at times, and I had to pause and look up some things, and it's definitely a love letter to more hardcore players, and that's kind of a niche market in itself, especially for a game that's like a B grade game.
Yeah.
Game, anyways.
I see. I'm concerned about my wife.
Tell me Ludmilla's okay.
She's okay. They've still got no idea she's on site, but their guard patrols have changed, and certain areas are locked down, and that includes the one Ludmilla's in.
I will say this:
So
I don't like that. They're all a bunch of old white guys.
We go in there, get her out, and wait for things to quiet down. But to get her off site, the locked-off areas need to be manually unlocked. And Ava stuck on the wrong side.
It's one of those things that Werewolf,
fortunately,
as it originally was created, it got better as time went on, and hopefully will continue to improve with 5th edition.
Bring her back.
There's a lot of really unfortunate
I'm on my way.
magic Indian stuff built into the setting.
I've opened all the external ducts.
They removed the word totem from Heart of the Forest, I've noticed.
No, I didn't notice that.
Yep, they removed the word totem. I think they removed all references to quote unquote. They kept fetishes. They removed the word totem. They have spirit still, and we did not have a Wendigo. Which I'm not supposed to say. I know that. I'm sorry. I'm just saying it to make the reference of it. They have the Cyberhicken, which is the Wendi version of the Silver Fangs.
Yeah. Here we're going to be shifting into Lupus for the first time. Geru, in addition to being able to be human, being able to be a 9-foot wall of furry death, can also just be a wolf.
When I first went into this form, I just jumped around for like 5 minutes. It was fun.
I do legit love the animation for the Lupus form. It looks great. This weird happy little trot after you've slaughtered dozens of people. And he sits like a good boy.
I'm locked in the turbine room in the center of the site.
Yep, it's not as fun as the Link Zelda version, the Wolf one. But it's swift. It controls well. Yes, there we go.
Door's locked. Ava?
There's gotta be a terminal close by. Find it. Oh, and deactivate any cameras you see while you're at it.
And we're going to be toggling Penumbra Vision, where we can look into the spirit world to see connections between things. I'm vaguely annoyed that they seem to have turned the Umbra into Detective Vision from the Batman Arkham games, but I can live with it.
Yup.
It's something that's was never going to translate particularly well to video games. You can see where the consoles connect to a camera in the other room, and okay, so we're gonna unlock the door.
Yeah, it's a poor man's Batman, which isn't great.
Well, I think Detective Vision it's one of those things that it worked really well in Arkham, and now everyone does it.
Guards.
When
Ludmilla,
you
we've
get
got a
back
lot
to the
of company.
cairn and you can see the spirits, I think that was a really
their setup. Tell me where you
really
are.
well done part for the game, for Umbra mode, but for this it feels a little weird.
I'm looking at the southern part of the outer fence. And a shit ton of guards. There's no way I'll be able to make a move without being seen.
And having
Southern
worked
part of the outer fence. Got it.
for a couple industrials, they really do a great job of getting that industrial.
But if a guard
This
does see you,
He won't live long
Yeah,
enough.
the actual,
is
for
an
lack
ocean
of a
disaster waiting to happen.
They've sold their souls
like
to
Plant
Enron.
Gibbs.
They don't get any mercy.
Oh yeah, the for lack of a better
I'll go
term,
check it out.
set design here is fantastic. Yeah, and Big Puppy Stewart, Vampire is generally not super difficult to get into because everyone knows the basics of how vampires work. Werewolf and Mage, yeah, require a little bit higher buy-in, especially Mage.
Mage is literally an encyclopedia.
Any idea what could have caused
I've
it?
seen it described as a
Okay.
as a
Just
philosophy
fixed
class,
fast.
as a philosophical
Big
knife
shot
fight.
just arrived on site. Folks upstairs want everything to be perfect.
Alright, so that guy's dead.
Yeah, and I actually enjoyed the mobile game, even though the guy who made it was an idiot.
One less fucker.
Yeah, World of Darkness has not had a good, not had the best track record in the last 5 years.
Yeah. Well, between the fiasco with the guy who was first running the Reborn White Wolf and him being just absolutely in love with being a 90s edgelord.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, the folks that are running White Wolf now, with just from what they've described, sounds like Justin and Chili is going to be their equivalent to Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige, the one guy who's running the whole show and is giving everyone their marching
I'm in the
orders.
refinery.
And that's a good sign. A Chili can be a dick, but the man's good at what he does.
shit.
He can definitely be a
Following me.
What is it?
I think it's
dick
Black
from what I've
Bile
seen.
Dancer.
He's smart. He's
Ludmilla, just
he's
hold
kinda
on.
Pretty. We'll see.
Rodko.
I trust him better. I trust him better than I do Sweet Killer.
Now go. I'll meet you with Rafi.
I'm done fucking around.
All right, let's have some murder.
There was. I'll go into it after this. Kill some shit.
We need a backup squad. What are we supposed to do?
Die. That's what you do. Okay, that was the most satisfying sound in this game. What?
We need reinforcements.
Call. I've hacked into their system. Now, stay low. I can see they've got snipers in the next room.
Okay, healing and Chronos. Yeah. Garu healed damn near instantly. Unless it's silver or you go for a straight decapitation, good luck killing them. And yeah, Dingo, the Enderon guards looking nearly identical. That's video games. You're not going to make a unique character model for everything that you're going to murder, especially when it's going to die in less than 10 seconds anyway.
Yep, that's part of the course, and it is a way that they kind of cheaped out a little bit, but whatever. I do love the destruction.
Yeah, I do really enjoy the destructible environments.
It's not the greatest, but it's fun.
Like, it's weirdly satisfying.
Might as well be fucking glow sticks for all they're doing.
It's very Batman.
Because I tend to refer to Garu furry.
It is fun to be a character, and this is just me speaking personally, but it's like, ooh, to do that, oh my god.
Alright, where are we going? Oh good, this asshole's got silver. What up?
Nice. Yeah, I tried to dodge it, and the timing is just a little bit off. The way the meter worked, the bullet isn't as easy to follow as I'd like.
Well, that particular one, I'm pretty sure it's actually, I'm not sure it's actually possible to dodge it. It's explicitly supposed to be part of the tutorial. Hey, here's what silver does.
We need reinforcements.
Oh, first time I've seen that kill. Anyone else? Bueller?
Nice.
Bueller?
Yeah, there's just a lot of little things like that. Like that right there, the guy's just popped in.
Send reinforcements.
Like, a lot of little things that just unpolished. Like that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of clipping. A lot of it is the camera, which, yeah, I said it when we were setting up that it's been an issue with me with 3D games forever, but I agree I'm getting old.
No. Oh, it's not you. I was talking with another friend earlier, and he's played for the game for a couple hours, and he just feels the game was just too ambitious.
Yeah, which I will not fault a developer on that. It's something you can tell that it's pushing hard against its budget.
Mm-hmm. Like, look at that blood splatter. That is cool.
Yeah. But no, it's something is Werewolf is and always has been the most metal of the World of Darkness games.
Yes, spiral.
Yeah, and then there are werewolves who have said, you know what, fuck it. The world's gonna end anyway, we might as well speed it up and get this over with.
No! Please, no.
So after a traumatic moment like this, a werewolf has to go and make a frenzy check.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things where in tabletop, your character doesn't even remember this fight. They just wake up with blood everywhere.
If I was to play this in a tabletop game, this exact situation, I'd have the player be willing to a couple extra dice and a very high difficulty to not go into frenzy. It would be very difficult for them not to go into frenzy. I'd give them a chance. I'd give them a chance, but it would be like, I'd try to do the odds in my head would be like a 5% chance where you wouldn't go into frenzy. Like, you would be losing your shit here.
Yeah. speaking of frenzy,
now I think it's all like corruption meters and shit. Maybe it impacts the game later on. I don't know.
yeah, I haven't noticed.
Like that was something that they said. And it was like all wormy shit around him. If you went frenzy, it would be bad, but I haven't seen anything.
No, Ludmilla. It's me, Cahal. Listen to me.
But he's still frenzying, so
No. You need to fight the rage. Cahal, that's Rafid. Yeah. Stop it! No!
What have I done? Rafik.
There's no time to mourn. We need to go.
Coming out of a frenzy is hard and requires a willpower roll. The rules aren't clear about how to prevent a frenzy at times, and World of Darkness intentionally was built, at least in the earlier editions, to have a lot of house rules on hand. When I have run Werewolf in the past for tables, my house rules are several pages long, which is designed to make the game better, but it's also annoying that I have to do that.
yeah, and not gonna lie, I tend to play it by ear a lot.
Which is how it should be.
Yeah. Big Puppy Stewart, do any gangrel take up the cause of nature, or does their connection to the worm keep them from going eco-warrior? Some gangrel do. There's some places where Garu won't immediately rip them in half upon noticing them. They're few and far between, but yeah, some gangrel will do the
back to base.
eco-warrior
Not that
thing.
there's anything to report.
No kidding.
Though I guess we've got a special guest coming tonight.
God help them if a Garu catches them impersonating.
In the most recent version of the
You know they're hiring, right? Think you'd ever make the
Mind's Eye Theater, the LARP rules, there was an event, a major event that involved the gangrel helping the gangrel helping the werewolves defeat these Eastern dragons, and they're kind of cool since then. But that's LARP rules. We don't know if it's going to translate to the newest
God, I hope
edition.
not.
That is the depth of my insane bits of knowledge at times.
Yeah, sorry, I've read the Mind's Eye Theater
old reality
W20 book, and please God, no.
It's a really good book for describing the history of Werewolf in one single place, but after that, the modern stuff gets a little bit iffy. I don't hate the splitting, if you will. I just some do.
I gave in to rage. The worm touched my soul.
Yeah, the worm touched my soul. A Garu frenzy's hard enough. The worm gets a little toehold into their soul, and different results based on how they were born. If they were born human, they tend to just destroy everything in front of them. If they were born a wolf, again, just destroy everything in front of them. No, it's born human, they eat people. Born wolf, they just destroy everything in front of them. Born menace, which is the offspring of two werewolves, we don't discuss that, and I will not have... The menace thrall of the worm will never happen at my table.
Nope, never happened.
What's become of them?
Yeah.
Of Rodko, of Ava.
Oh, yeah. Look it up if you're curious, but...
Yeah, no.
This is the closest
not a thing that's never happening at my table.
Nope, doesn't happen.
Plus, I don't think I know a single ST who has not house ruled that. Like, even the most repugnant edgelords I know are like, okay, yeah, that's a little much.
Cahal, we're here.
I can't believe that made choice. Like, I've had some players do some really fucked up things in my game.
Yeah.
They report in by radio every hour. That's our deadline.
I've never had them do that, and that's sort of a line I don't want them to cross.
Yeah, it's something I've always been very clear with my players. There are lines that you can cross. I will yeet you away from this table and into the fucking sun.
What do your clients intend to do with
Okay,
them
who are we
anyway?
giving explosives to?
Weatherstormers? They're planning on blowing up.
And
a big
oh hey, we're
Megalodon
getting
pharmaceutical
Boozy's
plant.
rating us.
Good fucking.
The
work.
weather storms.
I know Megadons.
Oh
Nice.
Jesus.
They're the scum of the earth.
Yeah, hey, Boozy's
And guess
rating
what?
us. Hey,
These
welcome
explosives
people. We're
were
playing
originally
Werewolf.
Headed to Endron. Another megacorp of assholes. Stealing from them is just icing on the cake.
Yeah, that's the name I looked up, the Weather Stormers. That's either a new kinfolk group,
Let's go through the plan again.
or yeah, I
Just
couldn't
to
find
make sure
them.
everything's
Yeah,
clear.
it feels
You've
like
gotta swap the
it's
delivery
someone's
with one
supposed
of the
to
crate of
is trying to
explosives
nod
intended
to
for
the
Endron.
weathermen.
You do that, and they'll load us up with
And
smiles on their faces.
it's no.
All you gotta do
just-
is open the gate to their delivery
No.
door
Yeah.
from me. I'll create a diversion while you're exchanging
Yep.
the labels.
Like
Got
it's
We'll have to play it tight.
the game just doesn't know what it
One
is,
hiccup
and it's
and
gonna
plan
go
falls
and
through.
We'll have you sneak around back by their
You're gonna be Metal Gear
storage
Solid
facility.
for a few
Security
minutes here.
should be pretty
Yeah.
thin there, especially if
That's
you
the
go
thing
through
is,
the
I'm
ventilation
not
ducts.
gonna dog game like
Alright.
like we said,
I'm
as a
off.
lot of it they're
Hey, before you
very
go,
very
are you sure you're up
ambitious,
for this, man? You seem
and
kinda
they are
stressed
kind
out
of held
behind
back
the
by their
truck.
budget.
Just been a long time since I've been out
Like
this
I'm
way.
I'm just happy this exists.
Yeah,
Brings
it,
back memories.
like I said at the beginning of the stream,
Forget
we had
You
two
gotta
previous games that were supposed to have
Right.
come out.
If you need me, I'm just a
One was on the
chirp
Sega Saturn,
Good luck,
and
brother.
I think a couple of stages of that recently got leaked.
Yep.
It's wildly unfinished, and got canceled. And then there was the PC game. It was going to be a first-person shooter, Heart of Gaia. The cutscenes are on YouTube if anyone wants to look them up. Just have booze because they are dire. They are the most 90s thing on YouTube. Holy shit!
They kill Ziggurat. Come on.
No one gets to kill her but Albrecht. But I have a weird love for her as a villain, so
She's a fun one. She's also a very.
oh, she's ridiculously overpowered.
She's the original big woman. She's, I believe, 6 foot something.
No, she topped 7 feet in Hamid.
I think 6'10" or something, and her Krynos is like 10. Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, she's big. She's the original big woman. I'll see if I can get a picture for your group.
Metal Gear Wolf.
This girl.
I'm inside.
Good. Try to keep a low profile, would you?
Oh yeah, no, with the tall vampire lady Resident Evil meme going around, White Wolf needs to lean into that and really pimp Zyzak in the marketing.
Endron reached out to me, They're hiring and the pay's
Like, hey, this one's tall.
I'm sure it is.
And she wears
They're
a
going
lot of
toe-to-toe
leather.
with a group of activists right
And
now.
has a whip.
Lambda mankind. If I were you, I'd stay here. Keep your head down.
I mean, she is literally. She's rank 6. I forgot about that.
Anybody there? What? Hostile inside.
Yeah, I don't want to know who drew this.
Ooh. It's not the cover, the Book of the Worm 2nd edition cover, is it?
That would be
Okay, that's Ron
the Book
Spencer.
of the Worm 2nd edition cover picture. Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, that's Ron Spencer. The God King of
I
Werewolf.
love
art.
that picture so much. Yeah, he's a good. Because there is some god-awful bad werewolf art.
Oh yeah, no, the stuff 2nd edition Scar, their art actually causes me physical pain.
The scars. Bad.
No.
I linked the one that's horrifying.
There's a lot that's horrifying, but
You hear the new Endron announcement?
about their new biofuel?
all
They
that?
say they're going green by the end of the year.
The only thing green about that fuel's the label. It's the same shit with new
Furry's
green.
very interesting
Marketing
relationship
stunt.
with Werewolf. Ethan Skemp was apparently horrified when this is just alleged. He was alleged. Ethan Skemp is one of the big writers in White Wolf, and he was the lead designer for the Werewolf the Forsaken game. And he was apparently horrified when Werewolf the Apocalypse won an Ursa Major award.
They're
Apparently,
not running the
something
most
along those lines.
attractive operation.
So much so that when the next Werewolf game that came out, Werewolf the Forsaken, was made, he had very intentionally made the werewolves as unpretty, as ugly as possible to dissuade furries. That's the rumor.
I maintain to this day that he was kidding. And just the internet does what the internet does.
I hope so.
Oh, did I just jump back to where I was earlier?
The Forsaken wolves are ugly. Think so?
Yes, I did. Huh. Well, they're dead. Didn't know I could do that, but okay. And you know, it's when Forsaken dropped, I read that the core book, the first couple of books, and it was not for me. It committed a greater sin than being bad. It was bland.
I made it.
It was pretty boring. Unlike basically for your audience, they basically did like a Marvel. What would it be, like a reboot, like an Ultimate Edition?
I guess it's like they took the basic concepts.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Like a different universe.
Yeah, they were trying. Yeah. It was a rebranding basically. It's a relaunch of the World of Darkness brand. And Requiem's Vampire the Requiem. It's not bad. Not my cup of tea, but it's not bad. Ah, crap.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not my cup of tea, but. And Mage the Awakening didn't do much for me. The ones that aren't intended as successors to original World of Darkness games are actually quite good. But Werewolf the Forsaken, it's like if Beige was a game.
So, fun fact, Werewolf
I made it to the delivery bay.
Forsaken first edition. I don't remember where I heard this, but I believe it is the lowest selling core White Wolf book of all time.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I know it's got its fans, but for the most
I have a
part,
copy. I can't read it.
Yes, I know it's got its fans, but for the most part, seems like that's the one that no one seemed to be super high on how that one came out. I hear its second edition isn't bad.
Now, second edition, I actually am a big fan of.
I haven't sat down and read it yet. I will at some point.
It's a much better system. It's a much better system. It's structured really well. The gifts aren't overpowered, and it plays more like Warehouse 13 or RIPD, where you're sort of like spirit cops.
I say, yeah. Does it give you actual motivation? Because that was my problem with first edition. It's like, okay, why am I even bothering to do this? It's like, as a DM, I couldn't figure out what to do with it in terms of storytelling.
Your spirit cops. Basically, shit comes through the Umbra and attacks the rail. You gotta fix it. That's your sacred duty.
Dusk, you're up.
On it. Once I've got their attention, you go find what we came for and slap on this fancy new delivery label. Got it?
Like, how do I put this?
Hey, you in the truck. What are you doing here?
I do love how
I'm just
seamless
here for a pickup,
you just
man.
shift the wolf.
Pickup?
Yeah, no, look, damn it. No, it looks really damn nice.
Yeah. It does, like, look very nice. I hope they keep that. You know, Forsaken leans on, it gets rid of the edgelordiness. Like, the big thing about Apocalypse is the world is ending, you are going to lose. It's not Werewolf the happy-go-lucky friends or magic. It's Werewolf, you are going to die. And Forsaken gets rid of that genius by saying the sins of your ancestors did bad, and you're trying to do the right thing, but the world isn't going to end.
Hey, you in the truck. What are you doing here?
I'm just here for a pickup, man.
What is it? Pickup? What are you talking about? There's no pickup.
What the hell? It's the same thing with the Metal Gear game. I'm fine with stealth games. Don't do the you get spotted once and it's game over thing with me.
Dusk.
Especially with this.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate that. I'm actually good at. I like stealth games, but if you get into a port that's just unfair, especially with bad AI, it kills the game.
Yeah, I'm a ridiculous Metal Gear fanboy, and
here for a pickup, man.
That, like I say, gets spotted once and it's done, drives me up a wall.
So I have a theory. I haven't played the game far enough, but I was looking at.
According to the intel we received,
some of the images of Book of the Worm for the Pentex guys, and the guy that you see at the very early part of the game, I think I know who it is.
Please God, tell me it's that one Pentex board member who's a Giovanni.
I love him. I know it.
All right, Dusk. The delivery label's been switched.
Exactly who you're talking about. Apparently that's someone that I think won a contest to be on there, on the board.
Oh no, that's with someone else.
Check it out.
And that's the character they wanted? Was it?
No, that one Giovanni on the board has been around at least since 2nd edition.
Never mind then. Alright, well, it's bad. It's never mind then. Maybe it is. That'd be kind of cool to have Empire. Well, the thing is, go on.
That is a lot of fucking silver bullets. Keep the silver rounds to one side for the moment.
The thing that I noticed about this game, yeah.
Orlov has ordered that nothing be delivered until the invoice is paid, and that is a lot of fucking silver bullets.
I knew I smelled it. Silver. Whoever ordered this intends to kill Garu. Dusk. They're shipping out silver bullets. You know what that means.
Change of plans?
Change of plans. I need to find out who's buying these bullets.
Change of plans. Now we're just gonna blow this place to hell.
So, Bloodlines 2 takes place in Seattle, Washington. This takes place in Pacific Northwest, almost Canada, Washington. Knock on wood, I just saw a reference in Bloodlines 2 to this game.
What was that last part?
I just want a reference for Bloodlines 2 to this game and what happens.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I know they, at least at one point, they were being developed in tandem until Bloodlines 2 ended up with its apparent ridiculous behind-the-scenes clusterfucks.
Season of the Wolf is the DLC.
So, who's the lady the boss is meeting with upstairs?
She's from Endron, here for the special order.
The silver bullets? Who even uses that shit? Is she picking up some golden guns while she's at it?
You know what they say, the client is king, especially when the client's name is Endron.
Shipment's loaded. How are things on your end?
Shouldn't be much longer.
Well, I haven't had to murder anyone yet. Yeah, Dingo said, yeah, I love how the vents are literally just doggy doors.
Yeah, like the vents are like
really.
Some of the later ones, they're like they have LEDs on them.
Like really conveniently sized.
We were supposed to have delivered the ammunition 1 week ago. 1 week. Endron doesn't like waiting.
Oh, paying,
Ripley
clearly.
wannabe right here.
You're not getting anything until Endrin is paid up. You can tell that to your President Watkins in person.
I don't think you understand what's at stake here.
I do like the haircut, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand that
you actually like the character design. It's one of the things where it's like, yes, it does look like a
that you need our ammunition
mid PS3 era.
We've got that ammunition right downstairs, ready and waiting to go.
Like the jitteriness of.
Sorry, Major. The business is business.
The models a second before, like the second the camera flips, there's like the models look dead-eyed.
Yeah, I'm replaying Metal Gear Solid 2 right now. It reminds me a lot of that.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we just walk in and say, "Hey, asshole."
You and I need to talk.
Who are you? How'd you get in?
I'm asking the questions. Who are you talking to? The woman. And what's this attack on Tarker's Mill?
I'm calling security.
Try it and it'll be the last thing you ever do.
Like the he's got a that is a deer there's a stag tattoo.
Yeah, it looks like.
I believe.
Who's the woman who
that's
wanted
a stag tattoo?
Major Grainer? She works for Endrin.
So this is a.
Ever since they set up their sites at Tarker's Mill, they've been having.
Fiona Werewolf and their. I can't say the word
with the
totem
local
anymore.
population.
They're
And
celestial
if comes to
worship.
see me, it means they plan on solving their problems with raw
Spirit.
firepower.
Their spiritual benefactor.
There you go. It's a good
I've
word,
answered your questions, but I'm a busy man. I've got things to do. Let's put a stop to this little farce.
Werewolf,
I
made in
advise you to
1993,
stay put.
1994,
While I call my
has a
guards.
lot of elements
This
that
is your one chance to walk out of here alive. So I
not
wouldn't waste it if I
have
were
both
you.
equally aged well and not aged well with time.
You know what I do to men like you? I shatter their legs, gouge out their fucking eyes. Funny thing is,
like
once I've gutted them and wrapped their intestines around their
It's a
neck,
good example.
they still beg
like the
me
Black
to
Fury
spare
book when it came out in
These
1995.
blind,
That is,
broken
I've
men
shown that to
believe
some
they might survive. Right up until they draw
really
their
close
last
friends of
breath.
mine, and they
Jesus.
love it. They're like this. They
What do you
look
even
on in
want from
awe.
me? You obviously know what's happening.
Yeah, no,
at
it's
Tarker's Mill.
This came out in
Don't pretend that
1995,
you
and they love it.
That's
There's a lot of
information.
early World of Darkness, Werewolf and Mage
want to know?
especially,
Talk.
feel like a bunch of white guys in the
Endrin
South
purchased some
trying to be
facilities at Tarker's
progressive,
Mill,
but
and
it's
they're not
before
there
you
to
could just
create
Google
jobs,
anything
no.
or reach
They
out to
plan to do the
anybody in
same
any
thing they
culture,
always do.
say, hey, can you
Suck
advise
the
on
land
this?
dry, even if it kills
So they managed
every
to,
living thing there in the
loop
process.
back around into accidentally being
Anyone
racist
who
as hell.
stands in their way.
They can't just kill whoever they want. They've got money, but people would know.
I love
the media
that.
would spread
Yeah,
far and
like
wide.
1994, pre-internet,
really don't know
like, you had to
what's
like
up
do
against,
your
do
legwork
you?
on shit, and
Endrin is powerful. They
they
can do
just
whatever
didn't.
they want.
I don't blame
no
them.
one will
Yeah.
care.
Well, I know
about a few
Phil
dead
Bucato
protesters.
has talked about it a lot
History
on
is written by the
when
victors,
working on
after all.
on Mage 20.
Now, die.
Is that, you know, back in the day they couldn't just pop open Google or reach out on Twitter and say, hey, someone in this particular culture, would you mind answering some questions? What up?
Oh, I love that part.
Yeah,
I
not
love
gonna
that
lie.
destruction.
What is that thing? Send reinforcements!
The furry Cuisinart, that's what it is. Oh, just pick
Well, that like this is one of the few games where you are literally.
Tarker's Mill.
Sorry, go.
My old
to
cairn.
pick a guy up by his head and throw him into a
Madonna.
concrete wall is weirdly
I have to go
satisfying.
back.
Nice, very nice.
There we go.
Ah, the skill tree.
And like basically every game that has a
Go
skill,
over one.
skill tree, I immediately
Yup.
go to jumping up health.
What I love is that they some of the gifts, some of these are named after gifts, and they kept Spirit of the Fray.
Yeah.
All right, so there's the LED doggy door. Look at that, seriously.
Dusk.
What the fuck are you doing, Go? I just had to pop a couple guards who wanted to put a bullet in my head. Get the fuck back here already.
Sorry, but I
What the
never
fuck am I
choice.
doing? I
Keep
just
the engine
killed like
running.
30 people.
We're out of here as soon as
That's
I get
what
back.
I'm doing. spirit huffing.
Like the environmental design, somebody did a real great job on a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, here's another bit of oh dear. The Fianna, yeah, their stereotype is they're Irish. You can power up by taking a swig on a flask.
Yeah.
This isn't unfortunate at all.
I gotta look that roll up. Well, I once had a character that was a Black Fury. I almost put her in your upcoming game. I love her to death. Her name is Cassandra Artis. She is named. I'll tell you what. I could talk about her for years. And her mother actually appears in the game that I streamed, and she's amazing. And she was a fosterin with, I think, 6 or 7 rage. So, as a Galliard, Galliards suck because they have the 2 weeks of hell, where for 2 weeks they have a very high rage score. Yeah. Where their moon, they get the full moon, then they get their moon again. It sucks. So what she would do for 2 weeks out of every month, she would smoke so much weed. And I know Twitch probably doesn't want me talking about this, but this is mechanics. Because weed in game lowers your rage difficulty. It makes it harder to frenzy.
I mean, hey, do what you need to do.
Yeah, because when the alternative is you becoming this giant monster that you see right here, that kill your friends and family, you gotta do what you gotta do mechanically.
And I just noticed on the back of their uniforms, Herculean. That's another Pentech subsidiary, was introduced with Book of the Worm 20th Anniversary Edition.
Nice, very good memory.
Yeah, no, I'm the freak that can give a doctoral thesis on DC Comics continuity off the top of his head. I'm one of those weirdos.
You will always destroy anyone I know in comic book lore.
Yeah.
Hostile! We've been breached!
And now for the murder spree.
Murder wonders.
Like a blender with fur.
And a lot of tabletop RPGs have balance. This one does not. If you play the vampire one, famous, that by Aaron Spelling had a TV show. That Werewolf showed, it was a big deal because a single werewolf, even a brand new one, can go toe-to-toe, if not destroy, all but the strongest vampires in the supernatural world.
Oh yeah, no, Garu are hideously unbalanced compared to the rest of the World of Darkness. There's a reason, if you're going to try and run crossover, it requires some truly ridiculous creative math to make it even remotely playable.
What's going on?
Mm-hmm. It's not fair to do it. It's not. Now, don't get me wrong. The vampires can do a lot of things, but they have to be smart about it.
What? Someone
All right, that was kind of cool.
Huh? Intruder!
Alright, guys. You want to die that badly. Guys, how do you think this is going to end?
Well, according to lore, those guards should not even be able to look at your wolf form.
unless they're being pumped full of those drugs that ignore the delirium at least for a little bit.
Exactly. Why they're so adamant about fighting you at all. World of Darkness is just ridiculous because it does explain a lot of things. It also explains too many things, and it also doesn't explain enough. Like if you go on the world of the white subreddit, you'll have questions about does a werewolf have a and they answer that, but at the same time they also judge you for asking that question.
Oh yeah, no, there's a reason I don't actually post there all that often. I mainly lurk because there is so many posters on there just are all about it's bad, wrong fun. You're enjoying this game the wrong way.
Yeah, I left it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. The reason for that is because Vampire and World of Darkness as a whole tended to be the anti-D&D. They tended to attract players that wanted a social experience or a more memorable experience than, well, play the monster, kill the dragon. And as a result, it was frowned upon to have more combat-focused games, which is stupid, if you ask me, especially for some slots like Werewolf, which begs to be used as a combat slot.
Which I at least partially blame the LARP scene for this, but
yep.
Which I know there are good World of Darkness LARPs. Everyone that I've ever come in contact with have been the most pretentious motherfuckers I have ever met in my life. And I've worked in a modern art museum. I know from pretension.
I have not been like World of Darkness, but I've heard enough stories to go like do one. But with that said, I'll probably run a game at a con someday.
And I've actively participated in one World of Darkness LARP as a favor to a friend of mine that was running one. His players had gotten to the point where they were doing Vampire. They had gotten to the point where they were absolutely just completely insufferable. And he asked me to bring my tabletop hunter group to just murder everyone. Like, okay, yeah, we can do that. My guys will enjoy some mass murder.
I think part of the fun of World of Darkness. Nice. Yeah, part of the fun of World of Darkness is the social aspects. Like, I have a group of... I had all furry game for a while, and the bonding that they did was awesome to see. And a lot of the enjoyment was the fight, like, as one player like loses a leg, as another player gets hideously scarred up, as another player gets permanently screwed up in a magic mirror and fails the save roll and decides to live this way. And they tell those stories like they're medals of honor. And that's the coolest thing.
Yeah, no, that is what's appealing to it for me. Appealing about it to me. And a lot of it is, like I said, I'm a big comic book geek. I come from the Chris Claremont school of storytelling. And World of Darkness lends itself to that really fucking well.
We're too late. Engine is already here.
Like, I will give the huge spoiler away for the game that I just storytelled. Basically, the players had to go...
what do we do?
And get the father of one of the player characters. The father was infested by...
What's even down there?
More, which is an evil spirit.
My home.
They actually show up in this game as like the weird demons with powers.
Call!
And to get a Fenris decided in the first round of combat, after they got jumped by a bunch of spirals, and this father from Moray got hit hard So the Get Fenris used this power called Berserk. They don't take any damage when they hit, but they can't pick their target anymore. They can only attack enemy targets. Okay, roll 1d10. Okay, you attack. Roll damage. Roll attack for me. He does. He hit. Roll damage for me. He crits on the damage. He has 8 successes. Over there.
Jesus.
I described for him what happens where he reaches over. Wow.
After that, there's just a red smear.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, I'm not quite. I've highly enjoyed this game. I am really looking forward to the day when one of the big AAA developers try their hand at it. My personal, please God, let this happen. Hand it to the God of War guys.
You'll regret that.
Yeah. That name sounds familiar.
Ultra, fall back.
Am I crazy, or does she look like the lady from
Pennsylvania? I might freak out.
What's that?
It's Tigers.
One more time.
Tell me.
Tigers. She said she's LARPing. If it was in Pennsylvania, I might freak out a little bit.
Your daughter can fight this battle.
Yeah, she looks familiar.
Yeah, like I said, am I crazy? She looks like the lady, like the second version of the "This Is Your Brain on Drugs" commercial where she smashes up the kitchen.
I just did what I had to do. Nothing more.
I honestly never thought I'd see your face again.
Yup.
Why'd you come back, Hall?
I was pretty sure my daughter was burning to death.
I was worried about Donna. When I heard the cairn was being targeted, I had to come back for her. You know I couldn't stay. Not after what I did to Rafik.
I told you that your rightful place was at my side. What you had done could be forgiven. But no. You
Bro, I
chose
went
to
psychotic and
abandon
murdered
Me,
one of my own
the
pack.
cairn, your daughter.
Where is she, Rodko?
With Ava.
And oh, hey, a Silverfang who tends to wear a jacket with no shirt and long white hair and an eye patch.
Available to us after the failure
What this
of our
tells
last
me is they
mission.
wanted to use Albrecht and were told that they couldn't.
Rodko, you let Adana infiltrate Indran? My fucking daughter? After what happened with her mother?
Your daughter.
I
is the
promise
best
that
undercover
is
agent
exactly
I
what
have.
happened here.
We will not win our fight for Gaia without first bringing Indran down. And with your daughter on the inside, we're closer than ever. She may not fight like we do, but she's every bit as strong.
So anyway, I'm gonna finish my story because it's gonna bother me if I don't do it. So I had the player roll damage.
Absolutely vital. More so after what.
And I basically said, okay,
we just
I'll
did
give
to
you 8
us.
points. He's like,
I'm
is
afraid
the other guy gonna soak the damage? I'm like, nope. And
retaliating against us.
He's flying super excited. He just killed something and he did a ton of damage. And it's his first one shot. And I described for him how he manages to reach
You remember the old
down
abandoned mine not
and
far
grin in
from
his eye
here?
to pull apart
and turned
the
it into a
characters'
training center for their new recruits. I launched an
father
attack
that they've
to
been
wipe
trying to
them out,
retrieve
but
this
the
whole
tank
time.
girl stopped
Bit
us.
by bit, gut by gut, organ by organ, rips
attack. She drove us back.
him apart.
Tanker.
And there was this awkward silence in the game.
I
Like,
encountered her
like
during my
this,
last mission.
like I had broken
Surrounded by silver bullets from her arms.
in them.
That's where
Yeah,
I was just
that moment where your players look at you like, what is
Major
wrong with
Raynor.
you?
Yep.
That's the name our men give her. But to us,
Yep. Like
she's
you could
tank
feel
girl.
the mood change.
She
You
leads
could, and
Indran's
I
troops
had to
with
like,
about as
I had
much
to
grace. Their attack on the cairn was their
clean up
first
combat a little bit.
wave of revenge
So
for our attack
they
on
were
the
still in
training
danger.
center.
That was the hard part.
We
They
managed
still
to
had to
repel
fight
them
for their
this
lives.
time.
And
It's only a temporary victory.
but you could tell
returned
their
at any
heart
moment.
wasn't in it anymore. They and I got the NPCs to help them out.
soldiers.
Then we've got to go back to the mine and
But
destroy the
like
training
after
center.
that, and when combat
It's the
was
only way
over
to buy
and they
the
went back
cairn
to
any
role
sort of
playing,
safety.
it was
No matter how brief.
awkward. It's weird. I had to role play as
Until I'm well
elders,
again.
telling them this happens.
Then we
It
can
sucks.
strike.
How can I live with myself? You can't, but you have to. And
Tell
that
me
at
about
its
it,
core
Dom.
is Werewolf, and it sucks.
Just as I promised you.
No, well, it's
I
something
trained her to be a warrior.
with the upcoming relaunch
taught her
of the
everything
streaming
she
tabletop
needed to
game that I've
fight,
got.
to defend herself.
Something I've already warned the players,
wouldn't see a
the
repeat of
returning
what
players
happened
about
to
is
Milla.
the training wheels are off. Bad shit is going to happen, and you need to be prepared for that.
You say that, but she's working undercover inside Endron's walls.
On my poor ass.
That doesn't sound like your kind of training.
I'm not worried about you.
Donna
You've been in the
decided that
game
she
a
could
long
best
time. You
aid
know
her
what you
struggle
know.
through
You're
more
prepared for what you're
covert
going to
means.
be subjected to.
Took me some time to come around, but she was right.
I know
She's
what
a
to
talented
expect, and
infiltrator.
I didn't even
Just
power
like
game
her
with you.
mother.
I have a well-rounded
Rest
character.
assured, though,
Eh.
Donna's
But
just
someone
as
like,
much
say,
power
Port
as you
Dingo,
and
who
me.
this is his first tabletop
Her
game
first change
ever.
will come in time, no matter what path she chooses to take.
Tell me about Ava. How's she doing?
I've traumatized players. I've had
She succeeded you
moments
as my
where
lieutenant. She was ready and willing.
I was young, I was
hardly a
stupid,
smooth transition.
I should have
I was forced to make
had a talk with my
some
players before I
concessions.
did this.
I can imagine.
But
There are a lot of humans in
I
there.
crossed some lines with an early
lot
game
more
that I
than
ran,
others.
Hunter the Reckoning.
Ava's land
I didn't
to
find out until
mankind.
afterward that I had done
I'd heard about
that
her group of
what I had
rebels.
done in game
They're actually getting a lot of
was
attention.
a low-grade trigger for one of my
Not
players.
sure if that's the best
This
thing for the
was like
pack.
2003.
That's
We
what I
weren't even
thought,
talking
too.
about trigger warnings yet.
At
That wasn't
first.
a discussion that was happening. But no, to this day, I still feel bad about that. And it's something when I do DMing 101 panels at cons, one of the things I tell people right out is when you were setting up a game, Session 0 is your friend. You sit down with your players and you establish where the lines are.
At first. So you've changed your mind about humans.
Mm-hmm.
That's a surprise.
Session 0 is
A lot
important.
of things have changed in the past 5 years, myself included. For the
Just
longest
because
time,
I've heard stories
never trusted
of
humans.
players that were
But then I
forced
saw how
to
they fought, how they stood strong
roleplay
for what they
in
believed
situations
in.
where they put up an X card
I
and
saw
continued.
their potential.
Arluza, as much
and
as
I had to admit that Ava was right.
Arluza once told me a story about that in a game I used to play and left the complex, where
Now you've seen firsthand what Indran is doing to us.
told someone who was not comfortable with a certain situation, you need to continue to roleplay this.
Ava's
And the
humans
player
aren't
themselves
afraid to put their lives on the line for the planet.
said, I'm feeling suicidal, I don't want to do this anymore, and he was told to continue anyways. Shit like that's not cool.
Jesus Christ.
Until I'm healed, there's no
Werewolf
way we can make a move on the
brings
training
out-
center.
Out
I'll
a
take
lot
care of that
of bad
goddamn training
storytellers,
center myself.
and I have a theory
You know I
behind
can
this
handle it
because of how, especially
No.
early Werewolf,
You're no longer a part of this pack.
had a
It's
Werewolf has a
my
very
responsibility.
authoritative structure with
And
the
how long
elders
will it
and
take
the
for you
younger
to get
ones.
there?
And
Days? Weeks?
And as a
If they
result,
return,
a lot of the
the
punk
cairn will fall.
mentality that the Gothic punk
I'll
mentality
think
that the game
about
is
it.
built upon is
Go pay your respects to your Fen and
forgotten.
come back to me.
And the authoritative
Then
mentality
talk
tends
about
to
the
bring on
line.
a lot of individual storytellers that feel that they need to play a very authoritative character that is very strict and firm, and I'm doing it this way and no other way, and if you follow the script, you will be punished. And the renown system that the game is built upon, it doesn't have a normal
I don't know if he'll make it through the
leveling
night.
system. It has a renown
Has
system,
anyone told
which
his wife yet?
encourages you. It was built to encourage you to
Oh,
play the
she's
roles
gone.
of your
She bled out just before they shot him.
of your auspice or your moon role, but at the same time, it gives the storyteller tremendous power.
It's good to see
Power
your
to
face
say,
again.
do what I say and stay on task, or I'm going to punish you by not letting you rank up and get cool
Cairn
powers.
is in a bad way.
And
Which-
no other game have I ever seen any game do that. And yeah,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that
Dusk,
is
what are you doing
bad
here?
DMing.
I thought I told you
It's
to keep clear.
You really thought
one
I'd
first
leave you
rule of
behind like
DMing
that?
is you always let the
You
players
should know
think
me
they're in
better than
control,
that by
especially when they're not.
Besides, looks like you need all the help you can
Um,
get. I really don't want to lose my front row tickets to
But
the
no, it's
Cahal
you don't
show.
force them into. You don't force them.
Thanks, Dusk.
You don't force
Okay,
them
yeah.
into
No,
something that they're not
thanks
comfortable with.
sounds real weird coming out of you. Put
It's,
that shit away.
it's a very fine line you
Well,
have to walk with
really
most
wanna-
of the World of Darkness games.
I'll
because
go
they
look after
do
the injured. I rang the
frequently
weather
border
stormers
into
and asked them to
go
lend
into
us a hand,
territory
too.
that not everyone is
Don't
going to
worry
be
about me.
comfortable
You just do what you gotta do.
approaching, especially in a group setting. spirit huffing here. I feel like we've just been talking over the game this whole time, but...
I mean, there's not a lot of plot.
True. No, I got your letter. You know that you could have come and talked to me. But I understand. The sort of subject is not my specialty. Thanks for letting me know that you were there for me. It's not always easy to take on the role of pack leader. I've had to distance myself from everybody. That's the way it goes. But you are still my sister, and I am happy to have you in my pack. Rodko. Okay, yo, has this letter been sitting here for 5 years?
Since he left?
It's true.
Yeah,
Rodko
5
did
years.
change when he became pack leader.
That letter's just been sitting there for like 5 years.
5 years. There's another one, too. If you look around of
Agnes didn't even know
him
how
getting...
to fight.
They don't call it a second in command, which I guess is the better term. It's better than what they used in...
Endron doesn't show anyone mercy.
In some of the more updates, the Zechariah or whatever they called it in Changing Ways. It's
serious.
We don't talk about Changing Ways.
They said
She was in the back, tending to the wounded.
It's all
Changing Ways has some
I just couldn't take him at the time.
good content. It has bad content. It has some interesting content. It has some content that needs to be destroyed.
There's one bit of Changing Ways I love, and it's just the description of a lupus discovering what thumbs are for and being endlessly fascinated by a Rubik's Cube.
No. Like, what is rage? How does it feel? What does it feel to become in this Gator Nation? What does it feel like to be, in this war? I love this character. I have never seen this before. I have no idea what it is. It's definitely a Gaffling or a Jaffling. And
it's been nearly as long since anyone called
it's just gorgeous.
Oh no, it's magnificent design. It's something I'm going to steal this for a game at some point.
The Eater of Souls is
I'm hoping that they release the soundtrack, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. But I would love to use this in in-person tabletop game just for atmosphere.
Corruption takes many forms, but the effects are always the same.
So they made reference to Eater of Souls, which is interesting because, according to my understanding, the Eater of Souls technically should be locked up.
Yeah, the Eater of Souls should still be comatose.
The forest with everything you
inert, comatose is, what do you use?
Your aura. What happened?
I'm not sure what term you use for the embodiment of spiritual destruction. But yeah, should still be out of play.
So in World of Darkness lore, the Croton, yeah.
They all suffer in kind. The Eater of Souls tries to corrupt them.
There we go.
But they're minor spirits.
Yeah, the World of Darkness lore says that the Lost Iron of Roanoke.
But in my weakness,
it's the Croton werewolves.
Yeah, the Croton.
Powerless
basically
to act as they disappear.
Just gave their lives up to prevent this evil spirit called the Eater of Souls from escaping.
Actually manifesting physically.
It's actually kind of cool. It's really epic. Which would be very bad.
Yeah, no, that's it. Hey kids, it's end of the world time.
It had some ramifications. You go. Yep. It had some really cool.
I came back to find my daughter.
Ramifications in terms of plot. It had some really cool ramifications for how some
a dear friend and
tribes to other tribes.
You fear for her safety, then.
It's a good. It's a in terms of like world plot. It's a pretty interesting one to just say one of us selflessly gave up all of our lives so that something really bad could be prevented, and the conflict around
the same path.
Around that is interesting because that is what the worlds are supposed to do, but at the same time there's guilt around it.
Yeah. For folks that aren't super familiar with Werewolf and the backstory and everything, there's two of the tribe names that were kind of dancing around, not actually speaking their names.
By helping you
due to some Native American cultural taboos that
Thank you.
we're a little more wise to now. People weren't thinking about in 1991.
During your travels.
The hobby in general is trying to be better, and they don't have a new official name yet until Werewolf 5th Edition drops. So
one last
I have
before you depart.
that's me. I have a guess
fell in combat.
of what one of them is.
I would ask you to bury them.
It wasn't just an Achilles.
You will find their bodies both inside and around the cairn. Your penumbra vision will show you the way. Soothe their souls.
Well, there was
send them to me, so that they
a podcast.
travel
Mage,
to the wild.
it's the Mage 20 podcast. It was out in September.
I will if I can.
Last year.
But my priority is Endron's training.
The name.
Weaken the forces of the worm there.
Of who it was. James Sambino, that's who it was.
okay, yeah, no, he's one of the people. When they announced 5th edition, I was really happy to see him on the writing staff, and I'm hoping that whatever they end up doing with 5th edition now, I hope that he's brought back on. But anyway,
so he was on. So there's a 5th edition of Werewolf coming up, and he was on it with the team that was running it called Hunters Entertainment. Hunters Entertainment unceremoniously was removed. We don't know why. It sucks. We're getting a new team. James is awesome. He is a First Nations individual, and he went on the Maze the podcast Paradigm about, I have it in front of me, Paradigm Deep Dive with Gothic and Hollow Magic with
I hope Rodko's changed his
James
mind.
Sobrano. He comes on the 15 minutes. He's like, I'm not going to say the tribe's name anymore. They're not going to be called that anymore. We're going to start calling them the Ice Claws. And he said, you know what? As a result, that name can't be used anymore. And just for record, Benny is short for what that was. I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to offend anyone, and that's why I'm kind of changing my name.
Yeah.
Name. It sucks, but you know what? If we can all be a little bit more respectful in the world, that's a good thing.
Yeah, there's like I said, there's as much as I love and adore this game and this setting, Werewolf has some really unfortunate magic Indian tropes attached to it that I said have gotten better over time, but there's still a lot to be kind of weeded out there.
The forest shrinks a little more each day.
Werewolf seems to evolve originally at its core. It's a D&D-like setting. Like the 5 auspices were representative of the 5 big D&D groups. Your Aruns were warriors, your Galliards were bards, your
now go.
Philoxus were paladins, your Thurges were mage users, and your Ragabashes were class, typically speaking. And your tribes were your multi-class. So your Dead Offenders were warriors. Yukina would be like a mage type as well, and the Fianna were bards. So if you wanted to play like a warrior bard, you might want to be like a Fianna Arun, which is the full moon, or you could be a Get Offendress Galliard.
We may have pushed them back, but who
sort of
knows
the way you
what
can mix and
they're
match it.
capable of.
And then you had
Echo's
your
counting on
background.
us.
Were you a human? Were you a wolf? Were you a Amidas? And over time, it's evolved from more of a combat game to a, well, vampires become a more social game. And how come social? And it has a very distinct PTSD-like feeling to it.
Yeah.
Because you do a lot of terrible things. You barely remember what some of those terrible things are, and how you deal when the rage comes down and you have to live with what you did for a greater cause is part of the conflict of the game. That's very difficult, but very exciting to explore. And it's hard to do with a good storyteller.
It's I still like the way the revised edition Glasswalker's book describes the first change is something sets you off. Hopefully the people that died when you changed deserved it, but it doesn't often work out that way.
It's one of the most scary things to for in Werewolf, when you know you have a high temporary rage. And I borrow, when I storytell, the idea that temporary rage, if you on a rage roll, you get a point of temporary rage, so you can get high very quick in my house roll. But it is absolutely horrifying when you have a very rage score. You're in a situation where you don't want to lose your cool, and the storyteller asks you to roll rage.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's something. I've never really gotten the chance to do it in a game, just because I've never had the right group to, I guess, broach the topic.
Hello, Call.
But in canon, most people, most Garu go through the first change around the age of 14 or 15. That age where you're already angry as fuck at everything for no particular reason. The pressure cooker of high school. And you have a supernatural level of anger that will inevitably blow at some point, and you're just going to kill everything around you without even thinking about it. About actually being conscious of it.
You've never had a first change played?
I have most of the times I've had people roleplay their first change, it's specifically been adult characters. I have not had very many teenage characters in my games, just due to just how my players have decided that they wanted to run their character.
I went to see Fanny.
So I hand wave that.
So weak.
I've
Please,
always
Rock,
had
let me help
that be.
Let me deal with this training center.
Is it that you care
I've
now,
run
Carl?
multiple first changes for
You were
people
so
because it's
easy
something
to
I enjoy
ignore
doing.
when we went right in front of you.
And every single time I do it, I will say, I'm not comfortable running a first change for a 14, 15, 16-year-old.
But you don't intend to.
Can we make your character 18? And every single time they say yes, and every single time I do a first change,
I can't take the risk of doing it again.
which is a great introduction to someone's first getting into Werewolf, because you learn in character everything. It's been a great experience as a storyteller.
So I'll accept your help.
And it's fun to do as a player.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, in general, I'm not super comfortable with role-playing young characters.
Just as I promised you.
Yeah, I've got my own hang-ups. Yeah, at most, it'll be an adorable waif who will tell the characters, oh, hey, something happened on the next block over, please help.
You say that, but she's working undercover inside Endron's walls. That doesn't sound like your kind of training.
It's
decided that
not an area I'm comfortable playing with either.
It's something I want to get better about. It's something I've been working on with my current setting. And I've been asking her, doing a lot of reading. I've been asking people in these communities to help me with designing some of this. I do want my games, especially the ones I stream, I actively want them to be less white, less male, and less cis. But me being a cis white guy,
how's she doing?
I need to ask people who have their own lived experiences so that to explain shit. It sounds terrible, but there it is.
Hardly a smooth transition. I was.
I want my games to be more diverse, and I'm trying to be responsible
about it. I can imagine. There are a lot of humans in the cairn. A lot more than when I was here.
I've seen way too many games go terribly wrong.
I'd heard about it.
Stuff like this.
They're actually getting a lot of attention at the moment.
I've had some characters.
Not sure if that's the best thing for the pack.
That's what I thought
that were in settings that I was not familiar with, and it's a great opportunity to learn, grow.
So you've changed your mind
explore.
about humans?
When I had a Black Fury, which is a more feminist-friendly werewolf tribe, I read the book. I started reading,
myself included,
things about feminism, first wave, second wave, third wave feminism. I got really into the character.
How they stood strong.
Josh Heath, who runs Werewolf podcast, is absolutely outstanding. I watched his stuff, and after exploring this character a lot more, I'm like, wow, I actually really like feminism. This is really cool.
Fight for Gaia. And now you've seen firsthand what Endron is doing.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of that. I started playing this game when I was in high school, and there's a lot of stuff. This game got me reading about these topics. there's something I'm actually low-key toying with right now and it's something I want to do, but I'm not super confident in my ability to do it properly, and until I am, I'm not doing it. Is I do want to at some point approach the idea of the Black Furies and
so-called training center.
The fact that, let's be honest, the Black Furies probably do harbor a lot of
prepare
turrets.
for our previous attack. The site's weak point is its power supply. They apparently haven't had the time.
It's a topic I want to broach, but
propane tank.
Thus far do not feel confident in my ability to do it properly.
So if I blow up the tank, the whole mine will
be
taking the training center with it. Then we'll need explosives.
Is a very difficult topic to have darkness in your game as a
Dusk, right?
Experience, and
you two stole.
it requires a very mature.
You don't know the layout of the site.
Of players and a very mature audience to understand.
I suppose I'll use Ava's radio equipment to
damn it. It's like Rick and Morty. Rick is not someone you should be looking up to. This is not something that you
and go. Good luck,
should idolize. It's not, and that takes a very mature mindset.
Yeah, and something that every so often does low-key bother me. One of the things I do love about DMing is I love playing a bad guy. I love playing the villain. And there's been a couple of times over the years where I've gotten into a certain headspace as a character that afterwards I kind of looked at what I did. I'm like, what part of my head did this come from? And how do I cut it out? This is fucking terrifying. The fact that I came up with this scares the shit out of me. No, even certain splats from the World of Darkness, I have to know you very, very well before I'll allow you to play certain character types in the World of Darkness setting. Just because of the fact that it played badly, either A, they're horrifyingly offensive, or B, it's just an invitation for edgy McEdgelord. With Hunter Waywards, I have to know you very, very well before I'll allow you to play a Wayward. Because doing that well involves getting into a headspace that you really should not be comfortable in. And if you are comfortable in that headspace, you should probably be talking to a professional. Vampire Malkavians. I have to know you very well before I'll let you play a Malkavian. And Werewolf Red Talons.
Fish Milks are the thing. Really? Red Talon?
I have had too many. I have had too many players use Red Talon as an excuse just to exercise all of their misanthropy in a weird I'm treating my game as therapy thing.
Your eyes open. If any of those assholes show themselves, just fire. Do not hesitate.
There's just too many bad experiences with Red Talons to be super comfortable with them. Like I said, unless I know the player very well.
Yep.
And like I said, these days I'm reluctant to use Malkavians in general. Just the portrayal of mental illness is one of those things where, again, I don't know it well enough to feel like I can do it responsibly.
You hear the internal motto around here?
The cost of the fine is always less than the cost of compliance.
Tell me about it.
Oh man, like it's difficult. The Red Talons, that anti-humanity thing can be very difficult to do, and it can lead to some issues coming out. That makes it hard for everyone.
A few days ago. We pushed him back, but
that spoils the game.
Say we're a little understaffed right now.
Malks are just weird, but
that's classified. But those who
I've seen them done very well, and I've seen them very X from LA by Night. LA by Night is a great podcast.
You say?
Yeah.
You interested?
Yes, if you like World of Darkness, it's canon too.
It's a quasi sequel to. It's like Bloodlines 1.5.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the spirit. Did you register on our website?
No, I have to finish it before Bloodlines 2 comes out.
Can't say I blame you. What's your name?
Cahal. Coming the third season.
Cahal.
But it's
Fill-in.
The only thing I think I've
there you go. You're on the list.
Ever said no to is I'm usually like, you know what? Take whatever you want, and I will find a way to.
Warehouse. Oh, and one last thing.
Take whatever you want.
Looking at
to
you,
be warned, I will
pretty
find a way to
obvious you've
turn
done
that
some
against
time.
you.
Yeah.
I had
Try
a
not to
player that
mention
wanted to play
The instructor hates ex-cons.
and this is like a Pharaoh one-shot that lasted, I want to say, 12 hours. He wanted to play a huge-sized character that weighed, I'm not joking when I say this, 2,000 pounds. Sure, absolutely.
Square
Not a
cube
problem
law.
whatsoever.
Square cube law is not your friend.
Welcome.
Yeah, I know a couple things about the square cube law, my friend.
Well, yes, for furries, it comes with the territory.
So, when that character had to go up on the Golden Gate Bridge and climb the scaffolding, even with the gift that he had, the beams were bending. I almost killed the character as well.
I'm here to
basically had the final boss of that be an underwater pit where a Bane had a dead man switch. This was done because the Tiger character had strength 6.
I signed up at the entrance.
Strength 7, Ace. I'm like, sure, whatever.
Right.
And
here you are.
The Bastet,
Let's
the Tigers
get down to
can't
business. You ready for the interview?
go into the Umbra. So I wanted someone else to get the kill, other than the person with a strength 7. So
our assault troops are equipped with a new type of pump-action
after the
rifle.
Bane lost its material form, it went into the spirit realm, and with the
holographic sight.
Tiger at minus, I want to say 3, 4, 5 damage. I think it was minus 5 for damage. Ag. The
tell me what it is.
Cavern started filling up with water. What happens when you're at Dante? Do you know what happens when you're at minus 5 ag to?
The cost of the fine is always
your
less
health.
than the cost of compliance.
That's
you know what happens to your movement
like
speed?
You're gonna fit right in. Some guys roll on in complaining about the company not having a moral code.
And the fact.
Screw them.
The fact that it was
enough of this
2,000
pushing bullshit. I know a combat vet when I see one.
pounds meant that 2 other characters tried to lift him to carry him up.
Someone will come get you new recruits in a few minutes.
Understood.
Eventually, the player started whining. Like, not whining. The player's upset. There was I crossed the line at that point, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not a monster. Go look at the rules for stamina. He's like, why? Go look at the rules for stamina. And he did. And when you have a stamina of 6, you can hold your breath, according to White Wolf, for a half an hour.
So you managed to get through their test just like that. Well done. They want to make you wait.
So
We don't have time for that. You should see a
he eventually was able to just hold his breath and walk out of the Karen, and he was. We had a conflict of interest with that character.
That computer will allow you to open the service
because the Farah, everyone always wants to be a Farah, but they're treated like shit by the Garu.
know what's going on in the training center.
Yeah, actually, I don't use them much aside from the Koraks, just because they're fun to write for.
Mm-hmm. Their quirks are awesome. Buzzards are one of my
Wait here. Our training center is in the middle of an old
favorite antagonists in the game because they're literal glass cannons. The Bastet are awesome. They're cats. Like, they have this super interesting culture. Africa is probably one of my favorite the Darkness settings I've ever been able to for. The War of the Fair out there, and they're just they're so diverse. They're like a werewolf tribe themselves with all the different subsets and powers and history. I've always wanted to play though, and I don't think I ever will. Anastasia. Here we go.
Yeah, I've got a thing about spiders. So, yeah, no.
Yep.
I have issues with spiders.
That's one reason why I don't think I ever will. Yep. It's
well, I struggle to read the book.
Yeah, spiders creepy.
Especially the way Ron Spencer's fucking art with that book. Jesus. No, though, talking about using,
see what's happening.
you know, having, using Africa for a setting, this is where I will note there is a section of my notes, for the current game labeled World Tour.
I've got eyes.
So, there are things to put. Alright, let's get in a quick murder spree. I legit love the combat in this game. Fast, it's fun, and it's ridiculously violent. And damn it, that's what I'm here for. Like, violent to the point of slapstick.
This is a game that I would have loved to play, I want to say, 10 months ago.
Just catharsis.
Mindless boy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm low-key annoyed I didn't actually rip that guy's head off. Alright. And it seems like a good place to start winding down for the evening. Though, let me make sure that it saves and so we can pick up in a later session. That's a lot of fucking propane.
I'm in the
Like, they legit did a great job with the industrial design.
Okay, waiting for it to give me the little game save sign. Might do it after after clearing this section. Yeah, let's just shut those down so anyone tries to come out of it is going to be terribly injured. You're just gonna get straight murdered. Enjoy the Solid Snake special.
Oh.
Another Solid Snake special. That is what I'm calling it now.
I mean, this is... It's Metal Gear-esque.
Spirit huffing. Well, I was trying to not have to murder everyone here, but okay. I don't want to die that badly.
Here I go with killing again.
So I'm just gonna record combat for this and run, die, motherfucker, die, motherfucker, die.
Yeah, the middle sounds right.
Anyone else? Bueller? Bueller?
It is a very big dog. I have the art to prove it. Sid actually was someone who watched way too many hours of my last tabletop game, which I will post the link to probably again. And he witnessed the horror firsthand, and I will give him credit for that. And then one day I will see if I can get him to a table and or get him to a physical table, because he's not that far away from me.
Increase your pain tolerance and make you stronger than ever.
Sup, guys? Oh, training class is over. How y'all like the OJT? You know there's an achievement in this for killing 5 people with a single claw swipe?
That's pretty cool.
They lean into what the Gary are good at. Extraordinarily graphic murders. I was wondering, are there not any actual locks in this fucking building? Like everything, you can just slap the door panel.
Apparently not.
Like there's no key card, no key cards, no.
They're injecting
ID
something
scans.
into their recruits.
I mean, to be fair, oh man, that is super corporate looking.
We've been trying for weeks to figure out just what's in that serum of theirs.
How long will it be before our latest batch of recruits is trained?
2 months for most of them. Less for the ones who react well to the serum.
Indicate that's a major brainer for returns.
Hold up, huh? Loose wolf.
Murder time.
Save is successful.
Say again?
Thank you, Dingo. Dingo said save successful at the door opening moment.
Ah. Well, let's finish giving everyone a show and then we'll wrap up.
I like doing the air combos. It's different. Like I'm used to like a fighting game where you have to like get down and attack. You can pick someone up there and then do the cable punch thing. Yeah. With this, you just hit jump and they come up with you.
Nice.
I kind of like it.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, that's a mess.
All right, folks. I think we're gonna call it here for the evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I will check with Wen and see what your schedule looks like, and see if we can't pick this up in a couple of days. Yeah. That's it. Anyway, this has been fun. Wen, thank you so much for joining me. It's your expertise in getting the screen sharing set up. Wonderful. It's been a wonderful experience. It's been great having you. Where can folks find you?
I'm on Twitter. I can link the Twitter account. Dingo Wolf at Twitter.com, and I just linked a playlist to a game I ran that people have a couple hours. They're more than welcome to check out.
All right. As for me, it's you can find me on Twitter at Dante_the_K9. I basically live on Twitter these days, and if you check our YouTube channel, I'll post a link on Twitter in a little while. You can see past episodes of the tabletop Werewolf the Apocalypse campaign that we've been running that, again, should be coming back from hiatus soon. So if you've enjoyed what you see here, check that out. Keep an eye on Twitter. I will let people know when our next session ends up being. Folks, thanks so much for joining us tonight. This has been Dante as Wendi, and have a good night.